Hi, I'm Nicola.
And I'm Jay Percy.
And welcome to the Afro Animist Podcast.
We are two animists and spiritual practitioners exploring the secular through the spiritual, discussing life experiences through a sacred lens.
Each week we share our experiences and dive deep into everything in life, from philosophy, metaphysics, obeah, occultism, shamanism, culture, healing, nature, animism,
the arts, pop culture, conspiracies, psychedelics and witchcraft. Nothing is off the table in these discussions, which aim to get to the heart of what it means to be spiritual and Afro-diasporic in an increasingly sterile and authoritarian world.
We keep it real whilst exploring the biggest mysteries of our multiverse. Join us holding this space to laugh, cry, debate, build community and tear down oppressive structures.
Welcome, beautiful being of the multiverse to the Afro Animist Podcast. And a Happy New Year! You are here with me, Jay Percy.
And me, Nicola Roth. Happy fucking New Year, guys. Happy New Year.
Happy fucking New Year! It's a new year, new me kind of vibe. I think. I'm not entirely sure.
You're saying that. No one believes you. I'm sorry.
Listen, I don't strictly, and I say strictly, observe this part of the year as the new year. So while I do get to like January 1st, I'm like, yay, I'm going to get a New Year's resolution. I'm going to clog up the gyms for all of the regular gym goers. Like, I don't strictly observe this point of the year as a new year. It's just, it's like an anchor point to do new shit for a new number, I guess. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes. Look, I mean, I have always tried to use it, shall we say. I've tried to use it. Yeah. As the same way, like
work with it, use it.
Not work with it, use it. Yeah, the same way, like when you're trying to fix your life, and I know like all of you lot do this, so don't shade me. Like you make a timetable, right? And then like if you make that timetable on Saturday, you aren't going to start it till Monday. Do you know what I mean? It's like you use it, you use the day, you try and use that momentum of the forward energy of whatever like everyone else is fucking doing. And honestly, this year, I did not achieve that. Like I don't even feel like we've moved into another year. That's how nothing. And that's how nothing.
You still feel like we're in the energy of 2022.
Bitch, we are in the energy. We haven't moved out of that shit. I'm not even gonna act like anything's changing until March, end of March.
Okay.
And
so why end of March?
Because like, okay, I really wish that I remembered everything that I read. But
so do I. It's in there in the subconscious.
It's in there somewhere.
Pushes forward at weird points.
Exactly, like now. So the astrology of last year was fucking mental. And I'm very into my Vedic astrology, my sidereal astrology, and all of that stuff was saying, come kind of like August, September last year, the crush of 22 is going to feel even more crushing. And then we had all those situations where there was multiple planets in retrograde at the same time, and then we had Mars going back and forth from Mercury, and Mars is in retrograde right now. I am also in my Vedic astrology, I've just moved out of my moon phase, like where the moon is in control of my chart and what's happening, and it was in control for like a decade. I've just moved into my Mars phase. So while Mars is retrograding, it's very interesting, like when I'm reading it's all great stuff. It says, the emails they're sending me is like, buy our charts, it's great. It doesn't feel bad, but there is definitely an energy for me personally, and also kind of when I look around my life at how other people are feeling in general, like where that bubble hasn't quite burst yet. That bubble, I feel like we're still kind of in the pandemic bubble. We're still in that, and like the kind of and there's a bit of me that feels like the way 2023 has kind of opened up, or not really opened up for me yet, as of yet, in the first couple of weeks, is because this year is maybe going to be a bit of a slow but continuous upward trajectory. rather than like boom landing
Okay.
in the year on January 1st, like, yeah, I can get up and do the gym and eat well and, you know, all that kind of shit, bigger person, like, and then
Yeah.
flop in the third week of January. I'm kind of hoping that it will just steadily build and become consistent
Okay.
in my life. Does that explain it?
Okay. Yeah, that, and you know what? That's a good hope for the year, because I think too many of us set these resolutions thinking that this beginning point is the be all and end all, and then you get to that third week of January and it's like, right, whatever your goals are, like I've already drunk a load of alcohol, I've already eaten
Mm-hmm.
way too many sweets, and you know, it's all out the window from here. It's just a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure to
So
have
much.
everything perfect in the first week of the year. I mean, even January the 1st, the night before, chances are you're out partying, maybe you are out
Mm-hmm.
drinking. Like, how are you meant to move into a new year on a hangover?
It's
How
a
are
very good
you,
question.
like, what is the deal with that? I much more prefer this idea, and then we have this like historical idea before we have the Gregorian calendar, that, you know, the beginning of the year starts in April, in spring, in Aries
Mm-hmm.
season, the first sign of the first sign of the zodiac, when things are actually springing into life. When it comes
Exactly.
to like January the 1st, we're celebrating this new beginning right in the middle of the season of death. How does that make any logical sense to be springing new ideas or new attitudes from a deathly season? To me, it just seems really like spiritually counterintuitive to like saying April 1st is the new year, and you know, spring has sprung and the clocks have just changed, and we've just
Mhm.
had a spring equinox of sort.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the
Yes.
spring equinox, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
That feels for
Exactly.
me like that's the beginning of the new year. That's when we start to like pump it up. It feels a lot more
Yeah.
humane too. Why are you meant to start anything new right in the middle of bear hibernation season?
Babe.
It's beyond me.
Humane. Humane is the key word here. Humane is the key word. Like, oh gosh, I feel it so
Inhuman!
much. It is. It's like, but in such a literal sense. In such a literal
Yeah.
sense of like, you know, obviously the way that we live in society now means that nothing ever has to stop. Like you can
Yeah.
literally go out at 3 in the morning and get a full meal. Do you know what I mean? It's like you don't, nothing ever has to fucking stop. And so
Mm.
like these are the things I feel like when, you know, you have these moments through the year. And I know we spoke about this on our like our Christmassy holiday episodes. Like, you know, I feel like these things are important. Culturally, we have
Mm.
this movement of energy and stuff, but also like if you just zone out and look at just the reality of what is happening in the actual world we live in, like in nature, it's fucking cold, it's dark, there's hardly any sunlight, like it's miserable. You want the feelings that you naturally want to have are to move inside, to be inside, to hibernate, to create. Like I've got this really deep feeling right now where I just kind of want to curl up on my sofa and like draw or sew or, you know,
Mm.
just something that
Yeah.
doesn't take very much energy. I can just do a little bit of self-expression. I can continue my, you know, like internal exploration and growth, but like with hardly any actual like movement. And I
Yeah.
feel like that just makes sense. Everyone I speak to, so I've got this friend who like every solstice, like every winter solstice, she'll call me like the next day on the 22nd December and she'll be like, oh my God, Nikki, can you feel it? Can you feel it? We've had the longest night and now it's going to be sunny again. And she like gets so excited from that moment. And and we're just like sitting there praying for like the next 3 months, basically for the next equinox to come, for the clocks to change. And
Yeah.
that's kind of all we're thinking about in this period of time. Um,
Yeah.
you know, it makes sense that we want to, you know, spring is when springs, when
When
spring has
spring has
sprung,
sprung, when
then we
spring
want
has
to
sprung, when
move.
spring has sprung. Yeah.
Exactly. So,
We want to
you
do
know, I get it.
new things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we should just be birthing ideas right now. Like we should just be growing those little idea babies and then, birthing them when all the rabbits are giving birth in April.
Yeah, I reckon so. I mean, quite interestingly, we started this podcast 1 year ago. So this is
1 year.
yeah, this is a baby that has sprung out of winter. So it has been possible. But
It has been
I
possible.
think it was we were percolating a lot of those ideas during the summer
So
season. So it
yeah,
took us quite a bit of time to.
yeah, yeah. We were percolating. We were dreaming up. We were dreaming up in this period of time. We were dreaming up. Like before winter solstice, I feel like we kind of got our shit in gear. And then our whole thing was like figuring out what the moon was saying. We were like, we need to release this on like an energetically great day.
Yeah, we
And it made
did. We
sense.
made sure that the moon and everything was in the right place. It was like now is the time to strike.
Exactly. Oh gosh. It is crazy actually to think back. Think back how you felt. And I feel like probably we maybe feel quite different at this point in the year, a year on. But like how do you feel kind of like looking back on your last year, like the launch of the Afro Animist podcast and like what's happened in your life in regards to that and everything else over the last year? Like how do you feel at this point now?
My life has been slingshotted out of a slingshot, which is perfect English, over the last year. Like literally, I guess what I did is I had quite a full life with
Mhm.
areas that were like filling out my life that I absolutely did not want to fill out my life with. But it was there, it was full. And then I like shoehorned this into it. Be like, this will be great. We can expand this. So then I have this overfull life. And a benefit of that is I've like removed that huge chunk of burden and this has replaced it. So I'm very happy. I didn't have to like clear things, wait for a void, spin my wheels in the mud, and then fill the void. It was just like, no, this is the thing that you want. Goodbye, other thing. Other thing being the job. I am now full-time podcaster and artist. I'm very excited about this. This is a very good chapter, very good character arc for Jay Percy. I reckon it's gonna be a really good year. Last year was a bit of a trial of fire. There were like months where I wanted to throw my laptop and possibly myself out of the window. But we
A lot of people
didn't,
have been there,
and we
babes.
are here.
Yeah, that was a good choice to not do that. Well done.
Yeah.
Especially the
Did
laptop.
go a yeah. Did go a bit insane for a moment there, trying to cram everything on top of each other at once. Which is why my bit of wisdom for you is if you are goal setting or manifesting at this point in the year, make sure you ask for enough space to do all of these things without going insane. Because what I did was like, I'm manifesting this, and this, and I stuck everything on my altar. And then everything came. And I was like, this is everything I asked for. But I didn't ask for any kind of sensible order.
I'm so glad you said that. I'm so glad you said that because sometimes we don't realize how powerful we are. Like she brought all that shit
I
right
didn't.
in on the same fucking day.
Yeah. Literally, there were weeks where things would just like overlap and coincide. I was just like, why? I even asked Nikki, like, why? Why is this all coming at once? And uh, yeah, I think your answer was around, you just don't know how powerful
Master
you are.
manifester, babe. Yeah, fucking master manifester. Like, be careful when you're that powerful.
Yeah. Ask for the time,
But
the space, the patience, the
exactly.
capacity, the mental
But this is
clarity. Ask for all of that.
the thing. I feel like this is the beauty of this work, right? Because one, you've proven to yourself that you can manifest whatever the fuck you want. But what you also have
Yeah.
proven to yourself is how crazy insane like manifestation actually is. And
Yes.
just that simple thing of like literally ask and you shall receive. Like the thing you ask for, is what you should get. So you need to be fucking careful about how you ask about it, the space that you create in your life for it. Like some of the time, it's so interesting actually, because I've been thinking about this recently, and I think sometimes I sit in a place of no manifestation. Like I almost try to. I'm like, just don't have any thoughts or feelings about anything, because you just need to kind of sense what direction you want to go in before you manifest that shit. And just really being careful about what you're not careful like what you're asking for, because actually I feel like what's happened to you is exactly what you needed to happen. So you needed all of that stuff to rush into your life, and for you to actually manage it all, because you did manage it all. Even though you lost your mind a bit, you managed it all. It all worked. It all went fucking beautifully.
Yeah.
And without that, then how would you know how you needed to manifest this year? That was the lesson.
I needed to learn that lesson. Yeah,
exactly.
I did need to learn that lesson. I needed to be told, like, right, so you're putting all of your effort into this new like magical skill, but do you know how to manage it? What you're asking for in this? And it was kind of like a slap on the wrist, like a slap on the wrist from the universe that I probably needed, because I'm definitely a lot more specific now when I ask for things.
Yes.
Just like ask for it in an order and in a timely way. And I've been listening to a lot of Abraham Hicks, and the whole ethos in that is that you really don't want all of your manifestations to come to you all at once, because you wouldn't want all of the delicious food you've ever going to eat in your lifetime to arrive at your table all at once. You'd be overwhelmed. You wouldn't be able to eat it. It would just become unpleasurable after a point. And I was lucky that last year didn't come to a point where it was like unpleasurable to the point that I was ungrateful for anything that was coming my way. But it was getting quite tricky to manage in points, and stressing me the fuck out. So I am really glad that this year has gone off to a much calmer start, and I've actually put things in place to make sure that in the mornings I'm waking up and I am, in a good day mindset. And I think that's going to be my biggest focus for this year, actually. Waking up and putting myself into a good day mindset. That's my focus.
I literally think this is the most, probably for most people, like the most important thing. Like when I'm in my inspired phases and I'm trying to make my life look the way I want it to look, morning routine is the most important, and I'll separate that out. I have a morning routine and I'll have like an evening routine. Why are you laughing at me? This is what I have to do.
Because I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing at part of my morning routine is getting up and drinking a protein shake. And at the moment, it's like coagulated because of the chia.
It's like, if you tipped it upside down, would it stay in the jar?
I
dare
you to try it, but no.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. I think it wouldn't do the whole meringue thing, but it is pretty like gelatinous.
Oh my gosh, is this why I say the bit that you stopped me earlier?
When I was pointing this out to Nikki earlier, she's like, a part of my life goals is to ensure that I can wake up and start my morning with a smoothie. And I was like, stop, Ho, we need to record this.
We need to record this. And it was because I didn't actually say it as normally as you just said it. I said, I genuinely feel like it will change my life. Like, this is the thing I need the most, is if I can actually just have like a smoothie every morning, then my life will be completely different. Like, that's how deeply I feel about doing that.
Do you know what? In the week and a half I've been doing my morning smoothie, my life is better.
Do you know what I mean? Like, seriously, everyone I know who does a morning smoothie, their lives are great. They have shit, but they can deal with the shit. Do you know what I mean? It's all about that first meal. Seriously. it sounds like a crazy thing, but just for me, like, it's sometimes when I'm really stressed, I don't eat. Like, I can swing both ways, and I can stress eat, but actually in my older age it will be the other way, where my stomach gets so twisted up in a knot. So if I wake up in the morning, for me mornings are the most challenging time. I'm definitely like a night person who has forced myself to have a daytime routine. So a lot of the time the mornings are like challenging as fuck. Like, just the waking up, just the so for me, I have to really, really, really be careful with what I do. And if I don't do my specific morning routine, then I kind of fuck up my day, So, and sometimes I will manage to do all the bits in my morning routine, but I won't manage to feed myself properly, And if I don't feed myself properly, the day will be fucked. So it is literally like one of those. You can make a smoothie, and also, like, just for all of you people out there who sometimes struggles, I do feel like people struggle with breakfast. Like, you wake up and you immediately are aware of your day and the stress. But smoothies are so easy. Like, there's also a ritual in it. I like things that create ritual. So you have to stop and make your smoothie. You have to stop and put the things in and think about what you're going to do to give yourself the ultimate nutrition. And then it's actually really easy to get into your body. Do you know what I mean? It's just easy to drink a smoothie.
Nice and easily digestible. Just drink it.
Exactly.
Done, no chewing.
Exactly. And it's like, I don't know if you get this, but like, I have this year eaten so much fucking junk food that now if I eat a salad, my body literally goes, ooh, nutrition. So like the feeling of drinking a smoothie, my body is literally like sunshine, like, So yes, it will change my life. Please, so this is what I was going to ask you when I said it. Please, please, please send me your recipes over, because that's the help I need from you. Thank you. Please and thank you.
Yeah, please send your recipes to AfroAnimist at Gmail.
No, I was specifically saying to you, Jay. I was specifically asking you. But obviously, any listeners out there do.
I am boring. Every single morning, I have this like pea protein shake, because I can't take the whey. It just gives me stomach upset. Yeah. And I add in blueberries, cinnamon to keep my blood sugar level stable, and a bit of chia, and I just whip it all up. And I don't mix multiple fruit in there, because some people have issues with digestion with that. I know I do. If I were to like put everything in the kitchen sink in there, the smoothie would quite quickly find its way out of the other end of my body before absorbing. So it's very nice and simple, but it does do this weird coagulate-y thing, and then it makes me wonder, like, is that what it does in my body? Is that the volume that is now filling up my stomach, and my stomach is like clawing through for nutrients? And I always have blueberries every morning, even if I'm not having a smoothie. And the reason I have blueberries every morning is because they're actually one of the few fruits that you can eat that can help to rewire neural pathways and keep your brain neuroplastic. So it's really great. Yeah, that along with lion's mane mushrooms and of course the magic kind of mushrooms, they all can help to keep your brain neuroplastic. So I start every single morning with blueberries, just so my brain is like nice and flexible for the day, for any learning, for any facts I pick up. And so that keeps me nice and clever.
I love that so much. I'm literally going to copy you exactly. That's what I want. Do you know what you made me think of as well? My mind just went off into a crazy place. I was like, ooh, imagine. Don't know what I'm thinking. I just like, because you said blueberries, I just started to think, I was like, oh, imagine making like some, like pea protein oat pancakes with some blueberries.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And then just, but like whacking in like a little bit of powdered lion's mane and a little bit of powdered whatever other fun mushrooms you have. A bit of maple syrup. Oh, that would be
if you have to go into an office, maybe don't start your mornings like that. Bit crazy.
I don't have to go into the office.
Neither do I anymore. It's fabulous. I can start my morning any crazy way I want.
Oh gosh. No, I genuinely feel like this is the most important stuff, like how you start your day. When you said that to me the other day, I was like, that is the fucking key. Especially if you're self-employed. Especially if
Yeah.
you're self-employed. Because like everyone thinks it's such a great thing, and it is, like, no lie. Like I have to be self-employed. But it is a challenge. It's another challenge in itself. You know, like you're brought up in a school system where everything's decided for you, a timetable, everything. And then you leave,
Yeah.
you go into a university or you go into a work situation where, again, like your timetable is decided for you and you have your little bits of free time around it where you try and cram everything in. But when you get the gift of complete control of your time, basically with great power comes great responsibility, is all I'm saying.
Oh
Like
my God,
it
so much
is
responsibility.
it is, isn't it? But I feel like what
Yeah.
you've done, like you've started in the exact right way. And because I feel like if last year wasn't as intense, like if, for example, you hadn't had the podcast and like you'd done half as much art stuff, then you may have started your self-employment with like a long rest, and that would not be the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
great.
no,
It's lovely.
now I've got such a routine. So I wake up, I listen to something that's going to make me happy. I have a few podcasts that I'll listen to that do that. And then I will visualize, um,
Hmm.
visualize what I want for myself, for the day, for the future. And then I'll do some breath work. And then I'll have my coagulant smoothie. And then I'll go and have a nice cold shower. Obviously, I start with a warm shower and then I finish with a cold
Hmm.
shower. And then I move on to whatever I need to do. So I start work probably around 9:30
Hmm.
most days. 10 some days if it takes a little extra time to put myself in a good mood, because I still do have quite like violent nightmares sometimes. So some
Hmm.
mornings I do need to wake up and like take the extra time to put myself in a good mood. And
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell I was doing when I was working in an office, just waking up from a nightmare, crying, wiping the tears away, and going straight to a laptop. It's really really
Hmm.
unhealthy. Um,
Yeah.
and this first week of being self-employed has been about starting the admin, but I think towards the end of the month I'll be back into my painting, back into my creating, and that's where the magic will happen. But right now it's about getting my ducks in a row.
Yes. You're doing so well at it, my darling. Oh, I'm
Thank
really
you.
feeling like the end of January we need to be on our creations for sure.
Yes.
Like I just
Yeah.
got for Christmas and I'm so fucking excited about it. I'm so excited about it. Ah, a smouldering iron. Now that may sound like a
What?
random thing to have wanted, but it's because basically it's a pyrography.
Yeah.
It's like a pyrography pen. So
Yeah.
pyrography is wood burning, right? So where you burn like design to
Yeah.
wood, but it's the same tool you use to burn into leather. So I've got like these leather paints and I've got my little like fire stick and I'm gonna like, I don't know, it's just like another level of like excitement and creation. I'm gonna be able to burn some shit and then paint it. It's gonna be so fun. Um
I'm really looking forward to seeing what you create. Nicola is
Me
an
too.
excellent crafts person. I
We'll
I
see.
I want to see a lot more of her crafts stuff that she creates this year.
That's literally, this is what this winter is asking of me. That's all it's
Yeah.
asking of me, if I'm honest. Like, so sorry guys if the podcast takes a little while to come out.
We're
I'll be
doing things
burning some
over
shit.
here, living life,
Yeah,
trying to
we're living
align,
lives.
all of that.
What did your actual New Year's look like?
I was on a plane. I
Oh yeah.
experienced 3 New Years across 3 different time zones. I'd come
Shut
back
up,
from
did
Haggadah.
you?
Yeah,
That's really
like
cool.
in I because my geography is shit. Like, excuse me if the order makes zero sense, but I think we're in like Albania. And we're like, yeah, and then
Yeah.
Bulgaria. And it's like, and then we're in France. And it's like, yeah.
Oh, hang on. So the plane went
I
like
think that
that
was it.
way.
It went.
It goes like that way.
I don't know.
So for everyone who's just listening to us, we're just pointing at random places in the sky, acting like we know geography. We don't know shit.
Yeah, no, honestly. It took 4 hours to get to Hurghada from London. It took 5 hours and 20 minutes to get back. Um,
What?
Never again am I booking a flight over like 3 hours on EasyJet. I need luxury. I need someone to serve me one of those terrible in-flight meals with like a suspicious tasting orange juice. That's what I need.
Why did you not tell me that you booked? I would never have let you book EasyJet. Like, I'm never fucking doing that.
Would you have been like book
seriously.
Egypt Air? Do something sensible.
Anything, anyone else, like, you'll fucking walk. Seriously, at least you're definitely going to get to the places you want to get to. Like, my experiences on that airline have been fucking mental. I'm talking like pre-fucking pandemic. So I cannot imagine the shit you have to go through on that airline now. There was a time in my life when I could do this shit. Yeah. Now I've got back pain. There's no fucking chance.
Yeah.
No,
I did book the extra legroom. What I was surprised at is that the fact that there was no television on the plane. And I've sat there like, what? I'm pretty sure in the 90s, like, even if you didn't have your own individual television, like, every, like, 10 seats, there would be a television. And you could all just plug in. There was none of that.
Yeah.
I'm sure these flights used to have these at some point when I was a child. Maybe I'm misremembering. Maybe I was on a BA flight and I'm, like, converging the two memories.
It was BA.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's a good thing that I downloaded. I brought books. I brought like a stack of books. Bought some movies. Didn't watch the movies. Did read the books. I reread The Secret this year. This
very well done.
Year, yeah.
Do you feel really inspired?
It's I feel inspired. I feel like it's Think and Grow Rich for the masses,
for children.
But
oh yes.
No, I don't want to like shit all over The Secret. I think it does what it sets out to do, and it's essentially
it does, yeah.
It's put me on a remembering in this new year of the attitude I want to go into the year with, which is like ignore the bad shit, ignore the gossip. One thing I do want to do this year is completely avoid gossip. Now, I'm not a big gossip, but there are a few people around me who are like huge gossips, and then when they're talking shit about something, I'll just have the tendency to sit there and just go,
Yeah.
Instead of saying, do you know what? I actually don't want to engage in this conversation.
Yeah. Can I be there when you say that to these people? with some popcorn, just enjoying the unfolding.
I don't enjoy gossip. One of my big things this year is because I'd been reading previously The Sacred Woman by Queen Afua. It takes the 42 laws or principles of Ma'at from the Book of Coming Forth by Day, which is more popularly known as the Egyptian Book of the Dead, which is the precursor to the 10 Commandments. So there's a bunch of rules that you're supposed to repeat to yourself in the morning, repeat to yourself in bed, just to like check off the list. Like, I haven't slept with someone else's husband, I haven't stolen, I haven't like
let me just double check I didn't do that today.
Yeah, but one of them is like it's a law that's in relation to like gossip. Like, I have not gossiped to this day. I feel like even sitting around that, I'm like partaking in it.
You are, yeah. Sorry, babe.
Yeah, even sitting there and not saying like, actually, I don't want to have this conversation. You know, my discourse normally revolves around like, well, imagine how they feel about this. Imagine what they've been through to get to this point. But like, even that is just like no, fat no, just like, no, I'm not going to chat shit about this person that you pretends to like. Like, would you say this to their face? No.
100%.
This makes you a horrid human being.
I think it would change your life if you can eliminate gossip, especially if you're like, English people fucking love gossip. Like, if you can eliminate that, because like, it's like what you're saying. If you're sitting there, and I do this a lot as well, where like I'm having conversations with people, and like, this is the people pleasing thing, Jay. Like, where
it's people
somebody
pleasing.
will say something that you inherently disagree with, and it isn't always worth fighting someone and trying to get, because like people I'm not here to change people's minds like that. Like, it isn't my battle. But like, there is oh gosh, I've completely lost my chain of thought.
It isn't your battle. It isn't your battle. Someone says something like inherently like something you disagree with, and you'll just
then it isn't
people
your
please,
battle.
and you'll just go,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay.
But I do agree with you in the sense of like sitting there and saying, you know, think about how the other person would feel, and that's the way I would normally go. But the only reason I do that, if I'm really fully honest with myself, is because I don't want to hurt that person who's gossiping. I don't want to turn around to them and say, you need to shut your dirty mouth because you're being a bitch. Like, I want to support them.
I'm such
still
a people pleaser. Yeah, I
We all are,
want to be
babes.
nice
We all
to
are.
them. Oh,
2023
man.
is the year of fucking shit up. I'm going to tell you to your fucking face, bitch. No, I don't know what that was.
But then, you know, the bad thing is, Nicola, I go away and I like gossip in my own head. So I'm like, oh, they're just such a dirty shit talker. I wonder how they're talking about me behind my back. It's like, instead of
and then
just
you cuss them off to
like,
Chris. Yeah.
So I'm gossiping. It's just a circle. When in reality, I should just sit there. If they're saying something I don't agree with, I don't agree with you, but you're entitled to your opinion. Or you know, you really shouldn't be. I'm not going to engage in gossiping with people. I'm not going to do that.
I think it would be really.
Can we talk about something else? Something a bit more like positive. I think what's going to start to happen is people are quickly going to grow annoyed with me, but hopefully it'll be the type of people who, if they grow annoyed with me, it's like, it's not the kind of attitude and behaviour I want. I've just gotten to a point in my life now. I've got too many good things in my life. I don't care to gossip. I don't care to gossip. I don't care. Like, it may sound actually very self-involved. I don't care enough about shit talking about other people. I actually only care about keeping my environment happy and keeping around the people that are happy, and people who are like speaking life onto other people, speaking positively onto other people, because that makes me feel better. Honestly, it makes me feel like, yeah, my life is going great. I'm like attracting people who are so happy with themselves, so secure in themselves, that all they need to talk about is ideas and you know, moving forward as a species. 100%. As opposed to, did you see what so-and-so wore to the thing? Like,
I know. But this is like, you start to realise that there are different, because I mean, I can't say anything. I do love to gossip. I can be a bitch. Like, you know, but those are places.
What you saying about me, Nicola?
Some crazy shit. You don't even fucking know. I love her so much. Why did she marry Chris? She should have married me. Anyway.
I know, that's what she's saying.
You know,
why can't we run away into the sunset together?
So annoying. We would have had a great time in Egypt together, babe. We would have had a great time in Egypt. I just want you to think about that. You'd swap me for Chris. But yeah, no, it's hard. Look, I gossip, and it is something that, I realise if I'm getting in a place where I'm gossiping, it's usually because I'm in just a bad place in myself, and then all it does is make you see the shit. Like, if you're then sitting there gossiping or bitching about somebody, normally it's gonna be somebody that you know. Obviously it might be someone, a celebrity or whatever, but it's like, then you are just creating an energy in your life, like, and then that's all you can see. And I just think, this is something where it is selfish. We need to get selfish and self-involved, because actually we're so fucking involved in other people's shit that it means that we feel like we don't have to really look at ourselves. Like, I recognize that in myself sometimes, you know, where I'm like, I have to stop looking at the outside world and judging what's going on in the outside world, because how do I feel when I look at my own life? Like, can I really sit there on my fucking high horse? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm riding a dwarf horse right now. It's like, I saw this Dalmatian the other day.
Oh no!
And it was a dwarf. It was a dwarf Dalmatian, and it was like, it had like a normal sized body, but tiny legs.
Had little legs.
It was
I saw that.
Ever seen?
I think we're somehow being recommended the same content.
We are, babe. Of course
no,
we
but
are.
You're entirely right. And do you know the question that is, you know, haunted Christmas and started this new year and getting on my tits? What do you think about Harry and Meghan? Do you know what? I don't care. Like, Oh, do you not think it's just so bad that he's? Do you know what? If he's come from a dysfunctional family and he wants to talk about it, up to him. I don't care. Like the only reason I now have to care about this is you're bringing it into my atmosphere and you're making me gossip about someone I've never met. I've never
I know.
fucking met. Like maybe I would care if like Megan was like my bestie and I was like, oh no, I can see everything she's been through. Like maybe I'd care then. I don't know these people. Stop asking me, please. 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 I beg you. I beg you. This is just gossip on a grand scale. I don't care. Don't care. Don't care. Man.
I mean, I could talk about Harry and Meghan if you want. Oh my god. It's great. No, I'm totally with you. But at the moment, to myself, it's one of my favourite conversations. I don't know how. Anyway, we won't talk about it. No gossiping.
We'll do a Harry and Meghan episode, which is
we'll do a Harry and Meghan episode.
No,
we'll get Angie
we
back
absolutely
on, do the human
fucking
design.
won't do. Our human design. I was going to say, if we do that, we're speaking about it from a point of like astrology. We'll get an astrologer on to talk about and all of that shit. It'll be from that perspective.
It's just, sometimes we just have to. That's what I mean. It's like we just need to look out into the world and go, do you know what? It doesn't matter if you're like, 1,000-year-old lineage of like powerful family. They've probably still fucked you up. Like, probably they've still done that. Like, geez. I wonder what their kids will be like. Anyway. Oh gosh, I really do need to work on this. You've really highlighted something bad. I sometimes do just look at the news. No, not the news. Sometimes I look at the Daily Mail.
Oh no!
I feel like I've stepped into the confessional with my priest. Sometimes I look at the Daily Mail and I think about what the celebrities
don't worry, we forgive you.
Do you? Thank you. I'm not going to do that today.
I mean, I think I used to read Take a Break for the same, and I'd never seriously like go in and pay the 50p for my Take a Break. But if there was a copy of Take a Break, then I'd like nick it from the tube,
Do you know what, babe?
Like read it. Because if these people are having such shit lives, it makes me feel better about myself. And that's what gossiping does. And I don't feel shit about my life anymore, so I don't need to do that.
Oh, that's such a good point. Take a break, man. My mum used to fucking subscribe to that shit. Anyway. My new year, I think this is why I'm not in the best of moods currently. Babe, give up on the smoothie. Give up on the smoothie. The longer you leave it, the worse it is. That has turned into jelly. Get a fucking spoon.
Back to what you were saying. Go have some water instead.
I was going to say, I feel like this is why I'm in kind of like, I have moved in 2023 in a bit of a bad mood and a bit of a facetious mood, but I feel like it's a good thing because it's that kind of, that kind of fire that will make you go, yeah, fuck it, fuck that shit. I'm not going to bother with that anymore. But it is because I had the most mental like lead up to New Year's, and my New Year's, it just did not exist almost. Like, so I'm recovering from a fucking flu, but like man flu, like the man flu, where you feel like you're going to die, but you're not.
Yeah.
But the process of this was this, right? So I was away seeing, because my partner has been working in America. So I went away to see him in December to celebrate our birthdays and Christmas. Like Christmas Day, we got up, opened some presents, and then it was like he literally got hit by the fucking plague. All of a sudden, he was like pale, sweating, so sick. So then Christmas kind of was looking after him. And then the next day, obviously Boxing, I flew home like the day after Boxing Day. So the next day I was fine. I was like packing, again, looking after him because it was like proper bad flu. And then the day that I was leaving, and this is like, it's like a fucking 11-hour flight, guys. Like, I got up, got my bag ready, and then all of a sudden it was like, death came over me, and I just had to sit down and then lie down, and then I just cried because I was so sick. And I don't know if you ever get that kind of sick. It's like, I get sick sometimes and stuff. Like, and I have had COVID twice this year, and it was shit both times. But
Yeah.
I was so unwell and I had so much to do that all I could do was cry. And I was literally like lying on the bed like, Ben, I don't think I'm going to make it. I don't think I'm going to make it back to the UK. I just didn't know how it was going to happen. And like, tried to find flights, everything. Like, I was looking flight, and obviously because of the week it was, every flight was
Yeah.
like $1,000, and it was like, no,
Yeah, of
okay,
course.
like you're gonna have to try and fucking make it. So I then get to the airport. I then get to the fucking airport. I'm like sitting there, like just trying to stay alive until I can sit on the actual airplane. And then I start to feel like I'm birthing something. So I go to the toilet and like fucking the mother of all fucking periods starts. And I
Oh
just
my
start
god.
bleeding. So then I have this flight where I'm like, and I'm sorry if this is TMI for you guys, but you can pause now and just start again in 5 seconds. Like the level of blood clots that were coming out my fucking vagina, I just have never witnessed in my life. Like my
Oh,
whole body was
oh, bless
caving in
you.
on itself. And so I'm sitting on this flight, and again, so I'm complaining now, but I don't care. Like again, like I have hypermobility, right? So I cannot sit still and not be in pain. Like I have to. I'm that person who's gonna have my legs up. I'm that person who you're gonna take a picture of on the airplane and be like, "How dare they move?" Like that's me. I felt so sorry for the woman who was next to me because I'm there, like having this period, like having death flu, just like shaking, sweating. Like this woman is like, she's also one of the only people on the airplane that has a face mask on, so I know that she's fucking petrified, and I just felt so bad for her. Anyway, like I make it home, and then I just didn't move. I slept for like 5 days. I woke up in 2023. Like I woke up in
Oh
2023 and I spent that
no.
whole basically a week on my own in my bed. Like just do
Oh,
you know what I mean? So there was no
sweetheart.
space for that move. Thank you. Thank you. I need that level of sympathy. It was hard.
Oh,
But
yeah.
that has never happened to me before. I always on New Year's plan basically the person I want to be the next year, like get all those goals in place, and then like I will meditate across New Year's. So like
Mm,
fucking midnight, I'm there meditating on my dream life for 2020 fucking whatever's coming. And then I will
really?
get up and I get up the next day and I move into it really well. And then, like third week of January, I quit. So that hasn't happened this year. So I'm feeling like it's gonna be so
It's only
it's
up
gonna be
from
better.
here.
It's only up from here. 100%. I do actually feel like that. I do feel like that.
Well, I think now is as good a time as any to tell you what you're going to expect from us in this new year.
Yes.
We're going to be launching a course, TBC. I'll give you some more information on
TBCs.
that. I think we're going to be doing a couple of actual in-person workshops in London this year. That would be really nice.
Yes, we are.
And generally, we're just going to be expanding the Afro Animist podcast as much as we can, giving you as much of the content and information that we can from all of the books that we're, picking back up on again this year, because we do want to like get all of this information and share it with you, because there's a whole host of spiritual information out there that you can absolutely take advantage of to improve your life. So we collectively don't quit our goals week 3 in January. Yes. We collectively are able to stand in the middle of July and going like, yeah, we're still on top of this shit. Well done us, pat on the back. That's what we want to do together. So I'm very, very excited about where this podcast is going to be taking us this year.
Me too, my darling. I think we have so much that we want to offer, so much that we've experienced and learned, and so many more things that we want to learn. And I just, that's what we are going to be bringing you. So many more interesting things this year. I'm definitely going to be complaining less and less as the year goes on. So make sure you tune in for that.
Yeah.
Workshops, in-person things, 100%. I'm very excited about this year, actually. Very, very, very excited. I feel like for the entire fucking world, there will be more moments to breathe than we've had for a little while. Yeah. So happy anniversary to us. I just mean happy birthday to us.
Happy birthday, Afro Animist Podcast. Happy
And
birthday.
thank you so much for everyone who's joined us on this journey so far. Thank you so much, because so many of you have been with us from the beginning and have literally created such a safe space for us, where we feel like we are building community, we're able to connect with you, and that's like literally all we fucking want, guys. So stick with us, like, and it's gonna be a fucking exciting year.
Exciting. Thank you for listening to the Afro Animist Podcast with me, Jay Percy,
and me, Nicola Roth,
and powerful 2023, y'all.
Powerful 2023. Whoop whoop whoop. See you next week, guys.
Bye. Thank you, beautiful being of the multiverse, for joining us on the Afro Animist Podcast.
If you want to get stuck into the conversation or have a question about anything we speak about here, join our mailing list and find us on our socials.
On TikTok and Instagram, find us at the Afro Animist Podcast.
On Twitter, you can find us at Afro Animist. If you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple Music, you can also find this talk on YouTube. Just search for us and we will pop up as if by magic.
If you're loving what we're talking about here, share, like, and subscribe. And remember to leave us a thumbs up or 5-star rating on your favourite platform.